everyone, it's Film Rich and welcome back to my channel. Today we're breaking down The Sopranos Season 2 Episode 10, which is titled Bust Out. This episode captures Tony Soprano under immense pressure. His criminal empire, his family, and his freedom are all hanging by a thread. A murder investigation closes in while greed, guilt, and desire eat away at everyone around him. Before we get into this episode, I would like to please remind everyone to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Without further ado, let's get stuck in. The episode opens up with a pivotal moment. A civilian witness identifies a photograph of Tony Soprano as one of the men who killed Matthew Bevilacqua. Word of this gets back to Tony, and the tension sets in immediately. He realizes that if the authorities have a credible witness, his life and his family's future could be destroyed. We then cut to Davey Scatino, still spiraling from the events of the Happy Wanderer. He's deep in debt to both Tony and Richie Aprile. Davey's sporting goods store has now become their latest bust out. Tony and Richie are using Davey's credit line to order expensive merchandise, power tools, televisions, leather jackets, which they resell on the street for cash. Davey's once respectable business is collapsing, and he's falling apart with it, trapped, ashamed, and quietly suicidal. But he hides his despair from his wife and son. So we think. Meanwhile, Carmela hires Vic Musto, Davey's brother-in-law, to redecorate the Soprano home. From the moment Vic walks in, that's an undeniable attraction. Carmela, starved for affection and disillusioned with Tony's infidelity, finds herself drawn to Vic's kindness and integrity. As the project continues, the chemistry builds. Eventually it reaches a breaking point. They share an intense, passionate kiss in the bathroom, but the guilt hits them both immediately, and Vic retreats, knowing the danger of crossing Tony Soprano's wife. Murder investigation starts to close in. Tony senses the walls tightening and begins thinking seriously about his future and his family's survival if he goes to prison. He makes a conscious effort to spend more time with AJ, perhaps as a way of making up for lost time or preparing him for a life without his father. While Tony and AJ are relaxing by the pool, the peace is shattered by the arrival of FBI agents. They question Tony about the Bevilacqua shooting, making it clear that he's a suspect. Tony maintains his composure, but the threat feels real now. The illusion of control is slipping away. One night, drunken Tony finds Meadow in the kitchen. He's emotional, almost vulnerable. He tells her that he loves her, then admits he's a hypocrite. Meadow, wise behind her years, responds softly, "Sometimes everyone's a hypocrite." It's one of the most human moments between them, a rare look into Tony's guilt and self-awareness. In session, Tony insists he's not afraid to go to jail, as long as it happens after his kids are grown. He claims that that's the only thing that matters to him now. Dr. Melfi isn't fooled. She calmly observes that this is the first time he's ever been seen afraid. Tony doesn't respond, but his silence says everything. We shift to Janice and Richie Aprile, whose relationship continues to get darker. During sex, Richie holds a gun to Janice's head, a twisted symbol of dominance and trust. But Janice isn't intimidated. Instead, she begins planting seeds in Richie's mind, suggesting that he could take over Tony's position as boss. Richie admits his resentment toward Tony, but he is hesitant to make a move. Their moment is interrupted when Livia Soprano appears, descending the staircase like a ghost haunting their ambition. Later, Richie brings Janice's idea to Uncle Junior. Junior listens but remains non-committal. Indifferent to the idea of a coup, still he warns Richie that Janice is manipulative and to not let her push him into something reckless. Elsewhere, Agent Lipari confronts Pussy. The witness described a husky accomplice who helped Tony in the Bevilacqua shooting, and Pussy fits the description. Pussy plays it cool, reasoning with Lipari. He points out hypothetically that doing something like that might actually bring him closer to Tony and not incriminate him. But the encounter shakes him. His double life as an informant is starting to fracture. Davey's store is now completely gutted, empty shelves, unpaid bills, and creditors closing in. He's been busted out completely. Homeless and defeated, Davey sleeps in a tent inside his own store. Tony visits him there, and they share a brutally honest exchange. Tony admits he saw an opportunity, that Davey's gambling addiction made him easy prey. Davey looks shattered, realizing Tony never saw him as a friend, just another mark. Later, Davey meets Vic Musto at a bar. He later confesses the full extent of his failure. He's gambled away his son Eric's college fund, and he owes money to Tony Soprano. The fear in his voice is raw. Vic is horrified. He realizes how dangerous the Sopranos really are. Shaken, he decides not to return to their house. Instead, he sends an assistant to finish the job. When Carmela learns this, she is quietly devastated. The chance for something real, something honest, slips away. In the final act, the investigation takes an unexpected turn. A civilian witness who initially identified Tony learns that the murder is connected to the mafia. Terrified, he recants his testimony and the case collapses. Tony receives the news and retreats to the bathroom. Alone, the weight of his relief hits him all at once. He starts laughing uncontrollably, the kind of laughter that comes from surviving something you shouldn't have. It's part of joy, part of madness. In the closing scene, Tony takes AJ out on the Stugatz, his boat. They crank up the engine, heading out into open water. For a moment, he feels peaceful, like Tony's finally free. But as they speed away, the wake from their boat overturns a small one nearby. A so perfect metaphor for Tony's life. Even when he's not trying, people get hurt in his wake. And that was Bust Out, a haunting, layered episode that captures The Sopranos at its thematic peak. It's about corruption and consequence and how Tony's world destroys everyone it touches, whether it's Davey's business, Carmela's faith, or Tony's own peace of mind. With the Bevilacqua case collapsing, Tony survives again, but the damage, moral and emotional, keeps spreading. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I urge you to please like, share and subscribe, and keep following for more recaps.